On this episode of CPR Ford Garage, it's the best day ever.
It's new project day!
So it's an 88 Thunderbird. This is what I was hoping that those Cougars I looked at this summer would be. Anyway, so looks very much like a Mustang HO 5 liter under there, but it's not. It's the low performance version. So, and it's been wrecked in the front. But basically what I want to do is check the fluids real quick, and then that's good. It's been parked in the weeds for a while before he got it going, and I noticed there's like, look at these, like climby vines. So I don't want that stuff to catch on fire when we go down the road. So I think what happened is it was a nice old person's car, and then it got wrecked in the front end and then fixed not so great, and then they, I don't know, they ended up donating it to this guy's church is how he ended up with it. And they decided that it wasn't a good car to give to families and stuff, so he bought it from them for cheap. But
anyway, we're gonna get it.
Up spring.
I got this for you, Dad.
Alrighty. Fits like a glove. It's totally not in the right spot. So probably has to do with this whole front end being tweaked.
Yeah.
Watch out, Brony.
This is pretty.
Check it out. Look how nice the interior is. It's pretty swank. Look at this, is luxurious. Don't they look just like Foxbody seats? They pretty much are. Let's see. Fuel is says it's full. The window switches are in the middle like a new Jeep. It's not a smoking. Alright, here we go. Well, it has oil pressure. That's good. It has amps. I'm not sure what's sketchier, the hood that's about to flap up Tommy Boy style, or the headlights that are lighting up the ground immediately in front of the front bumper. What do you think?
It's a lot worse than it looks.
I don't even know if this thing is assembled for testing purposes, but I guess it's what you get for $1,500. The 60. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God! Do you feel that? Don't blow up! Don't blow up! We're a long ways. Okay, that is 12.8 seconds That was uphill though. I feel like that was a little bit too. It is the little. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, she really jumps off the line, but then that's about it. Shifts at 4,000. That's awesome. Oh, that was a 13. So we'll call it a 12 to 12 and a half seconds, 0 to 60. So I have always wanted one of these cars. There was a guy when I was a kid that had a black one with like the 90s saw blade aluminum wheels with the black inserts, and man, I thought that car was cool. But I've been kind of looking for another little side project for a while, because the Crown Vic Swap F100 project is a big project that's going to take years, and it's kind of at a low point right now where it's almost torn all the way apart. So it kind of gets to the point of despair sometimes. So I thought a little lighter project would be good, and good for the channel, hopefully. So the bad thing about this is obviously the motor. But the good thing about it is a Fox chassis car. It's the same basic architecture as a Foxbody Mustang. So Foxbody speed parts will fit. And it's cheap. I actually have looked in the last couple of years at a couple of Foxbody Mustangs that I did not buy, because they are starting to get expensive. Cars that I used to pay maybe 2,000 bucks for. I have owned 2 Foxbodies before, and I'll throw some pictures of them in here. But anyway, Foxbody Mustangs are getting expensive. Cars that 5 or 6 years ago were $2,000, $2,500 are now like $6,000. So I had actually looked at a couple, one about 6 months ago, but it's everything I've always wanted. It was an 85 GT with T-tops and a stick, 5-liter, but it was rough. And for $4,000, I was just like, no thanks. Different issues here. This is the recent damage, and what happened is they were trying to load it on a trailer. It was too low, and it bashed into the edge of the trailer there because the ramps didn't get the front end up high enough, which that also did this, which broke the studs out here on this side, which is repairable. But what's even worse is what it did on this side. This held tight, but it crinkled the fender right here, so it actually bent the fender down right there. So that's one problem that needs fixed. The other is this whole car has been repainted, and it's not a terrible job. Like it's not the best job, but it's not the worst. It's workable. But it was repainted because it was crashed in the front at some point in its life, and it was not repaired so good. You can see this right here is that's Bondo put over rust, it looks like. So these inner fender aprons are all crinkled. There's a lot of Bondo on them. And then there's also some kind of caulking or Bondo along this seam and even here Now these cars, all the Foxbodies, under the fender where they bolt on, there's a gap there. And that's just how they are, but I don't know what kind of drug-induced repair this is, but you don't need filler right there. So, yeah. And this is pretty terrible. This apron needs replaced. And you can see there's some more caulking or something in there. That's not factory. And if you look down in here, so if you look there right at the edge of the strut tower, it is a little bent there. And I'm guessing the reason the hood doesn't latch is because the whole core support is too low from the second incident. And then if you look over here, there's more of this interesting caulk / JB Weld Bondo kind of disaster. This entire frame rail down here is shoved over this way towards the driver's side. The good news is it looks like everything starting at the strut towers is good and straight. And there is a factory seam here where this piece is spot welded onto the strut tower piece. So you can cut out those spot welds and take the whole front end off from here forward, and I have done that before on one of my Mustangs. So that's what it's going to take for the proper repair. So here is the good part of it though. The interior in this thing is pretty freaking mint. Just look at that headliner. It's flawless. And look at the seats. These are the same seats that a Foxbody Mustang gets. The carpet's a little dirty, but I think it can be cleaned up. And look at that. Right there. 58,264 miles. Found a receipt in here for gas from the previous owner from January of 2014. I don't know if that's how long it's been since it's been on the road or what. The other thing about it is, other than the AC and the awesome graphic equalizer, which I'm guessing they disconnected when they installed this stereo, but other than those two things, everything works. Absolutely everything. All the gauges work, the clock works, all the lights work, the power windows and locks, the cruise works. So there you go. So I paid $1,500 for it, and this is what I'm trying to do. This is the point of this project initially, is for $3,000, I want to buy this car, fix it, and make it a little bit cool. The stance is bad, the wheels and tires are awful. So paid $1,500 for it. With the other $1,500, what I want to do is repair the damage, budget 5 lug swap, wheels and tires, lower it. After that initial build, decisions will have to be made. So I want to hear in the comments what you would do with this car. Would you stick with basically the architecture that it has, the 302, the automatic, or like a T5, swap to a 5-speed, but basically sticking with the foundation that it is and using Fox Mustang parts to hop it up? The top end of these motors are terrible, but it's still, I believe, a roller block 302, so you can work with that. Would you rather see that, or would you rather see some kind of drivetrain swap go on in this? There's a lot of good stuff out there now. Obviously, Coyote swaps are one of the things that crossed my mind buying this. Make sure you weigh in the comments and let me know what you would like to see done with this. As always, thanks for watching. And if you like what you see, like, share, tag, subscribe. Thanks for watching.